Elias Venn heard the first scream at 11:59 p.m. That was not unusual. On a Friday night, in the emergency dispatch center beneath Saint Orison Hospital, screams came through the headset as regularly as breathing. Drunk drivers, kitchen fires, chest pains, children choking on coins. People called because the world had cracked open in some private, terrible way, and Elias was paid to answer before the crack widened. He was good at that part. Not heroic, not fearless, just good. He pressed 2 fingers against his left ear cup and listened past the woman's sobbing. Something heavy struck metal in the background. Once, twice.
Emergency services, what is your location?
I don't, please, it's in the halls.
Ma'am, I need an address.
It heard me.
A wet, dragging sound scraped through the call. Every operator learned the sounds that meant hurry. This was one of them.
Stay with me, lock the door if you can.
The door is moving.
Elias straightened in his chair and raised one hand toward Kay at the next station. She saw his face and reached for the silent alarm protocol card taped beside her monitor. Then the lights went out. Not flickered. Not dimmed. Out.
What the hell?
Elias.
Every monitor on the dispatch floor died at once. The room vanished, then returned in the red glow of backup strips along the baseboards.
No.
The woman on Elias' line screamed again. Then the call cut off. Elias removed his headset slowly. Then the message appeared. It did not appear on a screen. It appeared in the air.
The dawn trial has begun. Survive until sunrise. 1 skill has been assigned to each living participant.
Does everyone see that? Please tell me everyone sees that.
Elias stood, headset cord slipping from his fingers. This had no steps.
Skill assigned, delay. Rank F. Effect, all direct actions manifest after 10 seconds.
What does that mean?
Elias above the stairwell.
The ceiling above the northern stairwell buckled. It happened with a low metallic groan, the kind of sound a building made when it was deciding whether to stay a building. Dust poured through the acoustic tiles. A vent cover dropped and hit the carpet.
Oh God.
Then something pushed through. A hand. No. Not a hand. Too many knuckles, too long. The rest of it followed the hand through the ceiling. It landed on Tyler's desk.
Get it off, get it off.
The creature crushed the plastic dinosaur beside his keyboard and unfolded itself to the height of a man. Its head was wrong, too narrow, mouth split almost to the ear. It listened. Every ringing phone in the room became a bacon.
Everyone away from the phones.
The creature turned toward the nearest sound and lunged.
No.
Tyler shoved himself backward so hard his chair tipped. The thing struck the desk instead, claws punching through laminate. That broke everyone.
Run.
People ran for the exits, chairs toppled. Someone grabbed a fire extinguisher, someone else froze in place, hands raised as if surrendering to a storm. Elias moved before he thought. The red emergency release for the security shutters sat on the wall beside the supervisor's office. If he could drop the shutters between the dispatch floor and the stairwell, they might isolate the room. It was a bad plan. It was the only plan nearby.
Elias, wait.
He sprinted across the carpet. The creature snapped its head toward him. Elias reached the wall and slammed his palm onto the red release. The plastic cover did not move.
No.
For one impossible second, he thought the mechanism had failed. Then the words in the air returned to him.
All direct actions manifest after 10 seconds.
The creature ran at him.
Elias.
Elias grabbed the nearest chair and hurled it. The chair stayed in his hands. The effort was there, the decision was there. But the world had not accepted the result. The chair would leave him later. Too late. The creature hit him.
What?
Pain exploded across his ribs. Elias slammed into the wall beside the release button and dropped to one knee. The thing loomed over him, mouth opening. Then, 10 seconds late, the red button depressed. The security shutters came down. Steel panels dropped from the ceiling with a scream of tracks and motors. Then the chair Elias had tried to throw finally left his hands. It flew at full force and struck the monster's knee from the side. Bone cracked.
Shriek.
The creature staggered beneath the falling shutter. The steel edge caught it across the shoulders. For a moment it held. Then the motor ground on. Elias stared. He had not meant to do that.
Combat contribution registered. Emergency shambler restrained.
The words hovered in the air with obscene politeness. Elias wiped blood from his mouth with the back of his hand. His palm shook so badly he almost laughed. 10 seconds. Everything he did happened 10 seconds late. Not his thoughts, not his speech, not pain, not fear. Only the things he tried to make the world do with his hands. Across the room, Kay was crouched under her desk, breathing too fast. Tyler crawled away from the pinned creature with one shoe missing and blood running down his forehead. Mr. Barlow, the shift supervisor, stood in front of the west exit with a fire extinguisher raised like a holy object.
Everyone's.
His voice came out thin. He swallowed and tried again.
Everyone away from the phones, kill the sound now.
Nobody moved. The phones kept ringing. The trapped creature twisted under the shutter. Its pinned body made the steel shudder. Every time a phone rang, its head snapped toward the sound.
It hunts sound, turn them off, pull cords, smash them if you have to.
Kay was the first to move. She crawled from beneath her desk and yanked the cord from her station. The ringing stopped there. Tyler, sobbing, slapped blindly at his own phone until it toppled off the desk. Others followed, one by one. The chorus thinned. The creature became still. Not dead. Listening. The silence that followed was worse than the noise.
Local objective generated. Reach a recognized safe zone before sunrise. Nearest safe zone, Saint Orison Hospital, Level 6, Chapel Ward. Time until sunrise, 6 hours, 2 minutes, 14 seconds.
The numbers began counting down.
Chapel Ward, that's 6 floors up.
5, we're basement levels.
That isn't better.
A thud came from beyond the northern shutter. Then another. Not from the trapped creature, from the stairwell. More hands struck metal from the other side. Elias looked at the pinned monster. The shutter had crushed it low, but the thing was still alive. Its claws worked slowly against the floor, carving grooves through carpet and concrete beneath. Black fluid leaked from its shoulder and smoked where it touched the tile.
We can't stay here.
Nobody argued. Elias turned toward the west exit. It led to the ambulance bay, then the service elevators. If the elevators still worked, maybe they could reach the upper floors without touching the stairwells. If a small word, a brutal one. He stepped toward the exit and nearly fell.
You're bleeding.
It's fine.
It is not fine.
Can you walk?
She stared at him, then nodded.
Then it's fine enough.
Mr. Barlow lowered the fire extinguisher. His face had gone gray.
We should wait for police.
Elias glanced at the dead monitors, the floating countdown, the impossible creature under the shutter.
I think we are past police.
Nobody liked that. He did not like it either. But they moved. 8 of them made it to the west exit. The others were gone, dead, hidden, or already running through some other door. Elias did not let himself count too carefully. Counting made people real. Real people were harder to leave behind. He reached for the west exit handle, then stopped. If he opened the door, it would open 10 seconds after he tried. If something waited on the other side, they would spend those 10 seconds standing in front of a locked door like an offering.
Back up.
What?
Everyone back from the doors.
They obeyed because fear loved instructions. Elias took one breath, reached for the handle and pulled. The latch did not move. The group stared at him.
It's your skill.
Yes.
What is it?
Bad timing.
The door opened. 10 seconds had never felt so long. Cold air rolled in from the ambulance bay, carrying the smell of rain, exhaust, and something burned. The bay lights were still on, but half of them flickered. 2 ambulances sat parked near the loading ramp. One had its rear doors open, bloody footprints led away from it. No monsters in sight. Elias stepped through, the others followed. The ambulance bay was wide, concrete-floored and full of echoes. Every shoe squeak sounded like a shout. Rain battered the ramp outside. Beyond it, through the open garage mouth, Elias could see the city. At first, his brain refused to understand the skyline. Saint Orison sat near the center of Bellwether, a city of glass towers, apartment blocks, old churches, and too many one-way streets. Elias had spent years memorizing it by emergency routes and traffic patterns. Now blue-white system text hung over buildings like judgment.
Trial Zone 17. Population remaining 482,019.
As he watched, the number changed.
Population remaining 482,018. Population remaining 482,016. Population remaining 482,011.
He looked away. A scream echoed from somewhere above them. Then an ambulance radio crackled to life.
Dispatch, this is Unit 4. Dispatch, do you copy? Something's inside the rig, we need.
Static swallowed the voice. The open ambulance rocked once on its suspension. Everyone froze. From inside the vehicle came a soft clicking sound.
Door.
The service elevator lobby stood 30 feet away, behind a glass fire door. Elias could see the elevator call button glowing faintly beyond it. 30 feet, one door, one button. 10-second delay on both. The ambulance rocked again. A shape moved in the dark interior. Elias' mind began to count routes, timing bodies. If he opened the fire door now, it would open in 10 seconds. If he pressed the elevator button after that, the call would register 10 seconds later. If the elevator was slow, they were dead. Unless he started before he needed it.
When I say run, you run to the glass door. Don't wait for it to open. It will.
That makes no sense.
I know.
He jogged to the fire door, pulled the handle and felt nothing happen. 1. The clicking inside the ambulance stopped. 2.
Elias.
3. The shape unfolded from the ambulance. 4. It was smaller than the thing in dispatch, but faster looking. Its limbs were thin and jointed, its head split into 4 vertical plates that opened and closed around a needle tongue. 5. Elias backed away from the still-closed fire door. 6. The creature dropped from the ambulance ceiling to the floor. 7.
Run.
8. Nobody moved. 9.
Run.
10. The fire door burst open behind him. The group sprinted. The creature screamed and launched itself across the bay. Elias was last. He had meant to be last. That did not make it pleasant. He crossed the threshold as claws scraped concrete behind him. Kay shoved the glass door closed, but the latch would not catch. Of course it would not. Elias was the one who had opened it. Maybe closing it would also lag if he touched it. The creature hit the door. Glass spider-webbed.
Zarth.
Elias grabbed the door handle and pushed it shut. Nothing. The creature slammed into the gap again, forcing one bladed limb through. Tyler swung the fire extinguisher down on it. The blow did not break the limb, but it made the creature recoil.
Hold it.
Mr. Barlow and two others threw their weight against the door. Elias lunged for the elevator button. He pressed it. Nothing. He wanted to punch the wall, instead he counted. 1, 2, 3. The creature hit the glass. 4, 5. Cracks raced from the frame. 6. Kay whispered something that might have been a prayer. 7. Tyler dropped the extinguisher and covered his ears. 8. The creature's head plates opened, and the sound it made was not loud, it was precise. A thin vibration slid behind Elias' eyes and made his knees loosen. 9. He tasted blood again. 10. The elevator button lit, a chime sounded. The doors opened immediately. For half a second, hope arrived. Then they saw what was inside. A man stood in the elevator. He wore a hospital security uniform, or what remained of one. His name tag read Grant. His face had been torn open from cheek to jaw. He should have been dead. He was not.
Participant Grant Morrow. Status compromised.
Grant smiled with too many teeth.
No vacancy.
Then he raised a pistol. Elias did not think. He slapped the elevator close button. Nothing happened. Grant aimed at Kay. 10 seconds, Elias thought. Too late. He threw himself sideways into Kay, knocking her down. The gunshot cracked through the lobby. Pain tore across Elias' shoulder, hot and bright. He hit the floor on top of Kay.
Elias.
Grant stepped out of the elevator. The creature struck the glass door again. This time the pain broke. The world narrowed to 2 threats and no time. Elias lay on the floor, blood spreading under his sleeve, and saw the fire extinguisher by Tyler's foot. He reached for it. Too far. He stretched anyway, his fingers brushed the handle. Nothing moved. Grant turned the pistol toward Elias.
System gave me a choice, eat or be eaten. I picked early.
Behind him, the elevator close button finally registered. The doors began to slide shut. Grant glanced back. That was all Elias needed. 10 seconds late, the fire extinguisher leapt into his hand. He swung from the floor with every bit of fear in his body. The extinguisher caught Grant in the ankle, not hard enough to break it, but hard enough to spoil his balance. Grant stumbled backward into the closing elevator doors. The doors struck his shoulders and bounced open. The thin creature came through the shattered glass. Elias kicked Grant's knee. Nothing happened. Grant recovered and raised the pistol. Kay grabbed Elias under the arms and dragged him backward.
Move!
The others scattered into the elevator lobby. The creature pounced at the nearest warm body, which happened to be Grant. Grant fired twice. One shot hit the ceiling, one hit the creature, neither stopped it. It landed on him, plates opening, needle tongue punching down.
No, get it off.
Grant's scream filled the elevator. Then Elias' kick arrived. Grant's knee buckled sideways. He and the creature collapsed together into the elevator car. Elias slapped the close button again. Nothing.
Everyone in.
Not that elevators.
She stared at him. The elevator doors began to close on Grant and the creature, both thrashing inside. Elias looked past them to the second elevator. Its call button was dark. He crawled, then forced himself up, then ran. His shoulder burned with every step. He hit the second call button. 10 seconds. The first elevator doors closed. Something wet struck them from inside. The group huddled in the lobby amid broken glass. Beyond the fire door, more clicking sounds answered from the ambulance bay. The thin creature had not been alone. Elias stood with one hand pressed to his bleeding shoulder and counted under his breath.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The second elevator chimed. The doors opened on an empty car. Nobody waited for instructions this time. They piled in. Kay pulled Elias after them. Mr. Barlow hammered the button for level 6 again and again, as if enthusiasm could make electricity more loyal. The doors slid shut. The elevator rose. For the first time since midnight, Elias let his back touch a wall. The system appeared again.
Skill usage threshold reached. Delay proficiency increased. Current proficiency 2%. New passive insight unlocked. Countdown since.
A small circle appeared at the edge of Elias' vision, 10 marks around its rim. As he watched, the marks lit and faded, tracking the delayed actions still waiting to become real. One mark glowed. Elias frowned.
What did I do?
What?
The elevator passed level 1. The glowing mark reached 0. Far below them, the second elevator call button registered again. Something had pressed it after they left. The elevator stopped rising. Every face turned toward the doors. The floor indicator blinked.
Level 2.
Then the doors opened. Darkness waited outside. And in the darkness, something whispered Elias' name.